born in an era when crack was attacking blacks, rap on the map and quickly adapted to that. Hat to the back was cool in the city schools and none tougher than T. And I pity the fools, overzealous storytellers reciting they bars out of this world like Spike when he was Mars, was going far in the Boston across colors, and Mike Tyson was still nicer than all the others. It was a time when Buster was raw and Air Jordan was scoring off the versus Boston Satisfaction. The way that Jackson's acted, Sam acted a crackhead, but still made it happen. My versatile flow is like Jesse Michael Limbo. So you know that I must be hot, words made the campus like I'm Basquiat. Now tell me now, you ready or not? Y'all ready? Yeah. And I want you to understand, when we're in here, in this room, we're going to talk a little bit about this thing called hip-hop. But before we go into the actual idea of what hip-hop means, you have to really understand some of the historical context. See, the elements of hip-hop are the essence of hip-hop and the culture. So before we even talk about these particular elements and how they can help you and assist you in becoming a better college student, and becoming a better student leader, and becoming a better member of the community, you have to understand some of the aspects of hip-hop to begin with. Here's the first thing I want you to understand. Hip-hop is the ability to make something out of nothing. Talk to me for a second. Making something out of nothing. All right, now we're with me. Making something out of nothing. That is what hip-hop is. Here's another thing about hip-hop that I love so much, is that it believes in the essence of creativity. Say that word with me again. Creativity. Say it one more time with me. Creativity. Yeah, you gotta enunciate it though. You gotta say creativity. Ready? Yo, you better say that. Yes. We have 4 elements that started the birth of hip-hop, and then there's a 5th that found its way through. But let's talk about our first element. The first element of hip-hop is the DJ. The DJ is it. The DJ, the beautiful thing about the DJ is this. They are the foundation element. Element number 2 is the MC. They are the conveyor of the message. That's why sometimes the MC seems to be, or the rapper seems to be at the forefront, because they're the ones that are the loudest in the room. And sometimes we need somebody to convey the message. You ever been that person that understands the entire lay of the land? You know how to plan it, you know how to organize it, you know how to do it, but when it's time to deliver the message, you're like, oh, well, that's fine. This is why we talk about elements of hip-hop. You don't have to be the MC, but you better have an MC with you. Our first element was what?
DJ.
Yeah, I forgot already.
DJ.
The first element was what?
DJ.
The DJ. Our second element is?
MC.
MC. Let me talk to you about this third element. There were these young people. They didn't have paintbrushes. They didn't have fancy art schools. They didn't have a canvas. But what they did have was, at the time, $1.25 or 35 cents. Or $2.75 sometimes. And they would go to the bodega, or they'd go to your local store, and they would get this thing, right? They'd be like, they'd see a canvas, which was a train, or a block, or a wall, and I couldn't read that? That was Jeff Dess. I had put Jeff Dess on the, okay, whatever. Art, it's art. I can do whatever I want with my artwork. But the graffiti artists, there were these young people who said, you know what, I'm not the DJ. There were these young people who said, you know what, I am not the MC, but I am an artist. And what I loved about them is that this is them. How many of you in this space are that? The visionary. You know what the visionary is? The person that has this idea, and people are like, yo, that's crazy. That's never going to work. I want you to understand this, is that just as this went knocked down, there are going to be people that are going to knock down your creative ideas. There was a time where Lenny and I were sitting down and having conversations about pop culture and education, and people were telling us, I mean, we had conversations with people like, that's not going to work. Nobody's ever going to sit down and listen to you speak. Like, these are facts. Right? There are people that have told us, they said there's no way that people are going to listen to hip hop and leadership put together. You're putting memes and GIFs in your presentations. I don't think that's gonna last. Like, these are facts, these are quotes, and we sit down and we just be like, alright. Because that means we had this mindset that said, okay, you are not going to stunt my creativity. We are both graffiti artists in our sense. We walk in and people used to tell me that, like, it's like crazy. They'd be like, yo, listen, are you rocking sneakers to the I'm like, what? What do you mean am I rocking sneakers? Who cares, man? And that would be the conversation. But here's the thing about being this creative. Don't just be creative and don't then put the work in. You could be all creative you want, but if you're not putting any work behind that creativity, it means absolutely nothing. It's just these funky ideas in your head. So to be a graffiti artist, that means you also have to take this little bit of a risk to go up on top of this stage and say, listen, I'm gonna climb up all the way as high as I possibly can to create an image for everybody to see. That is what the beauty of hip hop is to me. So there were these young people in the South Bronx that said, yo, we don't have access to dance studios. There were these young people in the South Bronx that said, we don't have tap shoes. We can't go to dance schools. So you know what they did instead? They used to take a cardboard box, right? They'd unfold it. They'd take that cardboard box to the ground. They get another, then we get 4 boxes. They put the 4 boxes on the ground, tape them up on concrete, and say, yo, this is our dance floor right here. Now, I don't know if anybody's ever danced on concrete. I'm not even danced. I don't know if anybody's ever walked on concrete. You know how tough and hard concrete is. These young people are spinning on their heads. They're taking these risks with their elbows. I mean, it's breakdance. I grew up in a Haitian household, right? My Haitian mother said, oh no, you don't no breakdance in my house. I said, nah, I want to breakdance. Okay, I will break you if you dance. Right? I mean, you know, mom had a left hook, so you gotta be careful. But here's the thing I love about them. The graffiti artists, and this is again, I want you to start looking at yourselves. This is what this conversation is about. Not just to look at the grand scope, but to start investigating your own individual senses. Where am I on this spectrum? Which element do I fit underneath? Here's another element, the risk taking. The other person in the back like, first person comes back, he's like, yo, what's good? You got something to say now? You wanna do something? You wanna do something about it? Other guy in the back is like, oh yeah. Okay, then he got it, sit down, he got it, right? That first person is like, okay, don't worry, my man, he got you. Like, my little sister got you. My little sister come out, her footwork is like. So I want you to understand these 4 elements, right? What do we say from the beginning? Right? The ability to make something out of, and to embrace the essence of creativity. Yeah, well, you got it. I like that, right? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to get you to one more element. The 5th element, and this is arguably the most important element, is knowledge. Right? So we each have our 4 skill sets. We talked about the DJ, the MC, the graffiti artist, and the b-boy. Those are 4 individual skill sets and abilities that you bring to the table. But what I want you to understand now is number 5 is knowledge. Number 5 is knowledge. That is the 5th element because it brings everybody together. All right, MCs. I need my MCs to this space right here. All right, I need my MCs over here. All right, MCs right here. Now what I also need are, I need my B-boys and my B-girls. Where are my B-boys and my B-girls? Where are my B-boys and my B-girls? I need my B-boys and my B-girls right here. Come to this side of the room. Good, brother. All right, that's it? These are my B-boys? All right, that means everybody else is a graffiti artist. Or other people are like, well, I don't know what I am, Jeff. What if I'm both? Jeff, what if I'm both? If you're a graffiti artist, I need my graffiti artist right here.
What is everything?
All right, we got you. We got you. Graffiti artist right here.
Everyone needs to participate.
Everyone had a story and came up to the street. We knew it, so basically, like, I was homeless, but I changed that into something. I wanted to have a women's environment, and I got other people to do that with me. Based off what I was doing.
Let's talk to him. Let's go. Give me a big round.
not stay stuck.
Let's go! Bring it back!
When you get past your obstacles, don't fall down. Basically, get back up. You don't want to be afraid of your challenges. Face them, face your fears. Basically, get back up and be confident.
Nah, I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Self-aware, always be true to yourself and don't let anyone get in your way.
Nope.
Yeah. Where my B-boys at?
MCs, right? So we're MCs here. What was the toughest part? We'll start with you, Imani.
Public speaking. Sometimes, even as an MC, it's difficult to be able to articulate the message that you want across to everybody. I love that. All right here we have our B-boys, our B-girls. Y'all was getting lit over here, man. I like this group. What was one of the toughest things about your job?
Trying to get the vibe to match the music.
Getting the vibe to match the music, right? So as a B-boy, you want to bring energy, but you don't want to outshine everybody. You don't want to turn up so much that nobody knows what's going on. So being able to match the vibe of the space. I gave them zero direction.
Yes.
I said, listen, figure it out. You are the graffiti artists, be creative. They came out with plates. They got a little, I don't know, they got a little scene here that's going on. That's lit now. I didn't even know. Yo, see that now? Listen, man. If that's not creativity, I don't know what is. What was one of the toughest parts for you? We'll start here. What was one of the toughest parts for you?
Cuz, come on, bro. Somebody talk. You
Communication. What are we gonna do? How are we gonna do it? What's my role? Am I the F? Am I the E? Do I put my hand here?